Alright, welcome back to the GSR Rescue and Revival series. This is the third video. Now is going to be the fun stuff, so like cosmetic work and getting it looking normal again for the most part. Off camera, I have been doing a lot of maintenance stuff. I did the rear motor mount because it was beyond clapped. I didn't do the side ones yet because I want that rear one to break in a little bit before I put these in, because I don't want the car to vibrate a ton. These are the softest compound I could get from 1320, so it's still going to vibrate a little bit. I don't really care, but anyways, I also did water pump timing belt. Thermostat was stuck open. I did a bunch of maintenance stuff, so just boring stuff I did off camera. I also forgot to mention I did get this air box on a trade. I actually got the stuff that goes behind the bumper. I didn't put it in yet. You saw it in the last video. I traded the wheels that were on this car for all that and a couple other little things, so that was really cool. Kind of hard to find because GSR is the only Integra with this style intake that drops down, so I was luckily able to find that in trade, so it didn't even cost me money. But today what I'm going to start off with is degreasing the engine bay because it is filthy, and I'm going to start removing parts off of my parts car. I got to get the fender and whatnot off there. I'm going to be using this stuff. I saw really good reviews on it. It doesn't eat your paint like most degreasers do, and it doesn't corrode aluminum. It's actually like the same thing as the gunk stuff, but this is actually cheaper. So I'm going to spray this down, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to take the fender off the other parts car and whatnot, and hopefully get this thing going. I covered up the electrical bits and the intake with aluminum. That way you can kind of avoid water and stuff getting in there. Doesn't look too bad. Not as good as I want it to be. I'm wondering if because it's so cold out it's not working as well, but also kind of hard to scrub with all the crap around here, like ABS, got AC lines and all that, but it is definitely a lot better. Mostly want to do it so it's clean, so I can see any oil leaks better or anything. So I'm going to mount my fan up in here and hopefully dry it a little faster. Alright, I got the Integra pulled in. I got the clean fender off the parts car. Obviously the doors have been off the parts car for a while. And then I'm going to also swap the top portion of the bumper because that one is beat. This thing, the bracket for the fender's a little messed up, but luckily this was still on the parts car. It was actually not even bolted to it, it was just kind of laying in the engine bay, so that's convenient. So I'm an idiot, or just not familiar with Integras. I thought since the parts car and this car are the same body style, they're the 97 to 94, figured the wiring would be the same, but I guess not. So this is the pigtail off the parts car. It was already cut from the guy that delivered it. So I gotta do some research, I guess. Maybe I gotta wire this in, but I really didn't want to cut the harness or anything, so I gotta look this up, see what the best way to do it. Otherwise, I guess I'm gonna have to find a different door for the driver's side. It's kind of frustrating. Alright, so I just swapped the door harness from the other door, and actually it just plugs and play. So I just gotta now actually wire it in. I just tested it first and made sure the window rolled up and everything. So works perfect. I don't know why the clip has changed, maybe for weathering or something, but yeah, I'm gonna do this to both doors, I guess. Alright, I got the door panel back together. I'm leaving the speaker cover and like the mirror and stuff off. That is missing. I gotta find a new one for this cover for the speaker, but I'm just leaving it off because that way it's easier to pull apart in case the weather breaks, so I can paint it quick. But everything works. And it's pretty cool because the, well, I can't lock it with that open, but the switch from the other door was actually way better than this one, or the one that was in here. So I swapped that over, and I have a switch that I don't have to go through like 7 gears to get the window to roll down. But I will film that door when I do that door, just to show you kind of how it's done. It's actually really simple. Leave it to Honda to keep things simple. I don't know why they changed the plug on the door. That's very inconvenient. But yeah, so that's good. And I'm gonna work on aligning the door and then put the fender back on and the bumper. Not bad for an amateur. Closes nice now, as it doesn't latch. But I barely have to do anything now. Before I had to like slam it, and the thing was all jacked up, the latch inside the door obviously. So that's nice now. Alright, not so bad actually. The fitment of the bumper. I still gotta tweak it a little more. I just wanted to get it together because I have to work in the morning. It's late, and I'm gonna be driving the car throughout the week just to kind of get out any more bugs if there's any. But so far so good for reliability wise. But man, it looks so much better now. I almost dig all the different colored panels, gives it character. Anyways, I will see you next week because I'm gonna finish doing the other door and I'm gonna walk you through that. And I got couple of other little things coming for the car, so I'm not gonna wrap the video up until then. All right, it's after work, one of the days during the week. I just want to get a little bit of progress done. I got clear corners or bumper lights in the mail. They're just eBay ones, so I'm gonna swap these out quick for these spray painted ones, and then I'm gonna see if I can maybe get something for the taillights, get the spray paint off with like Goo Gone or something. Otherwise, I got cracked ones on the parts car I can throw on, but I really want to save these ones. That looks much better, in my opinion. Hi, dog. So I'm gonna try a little bit of this stuff first. It's a little less aggressive than Goof Off. I think I said Goo Gone before Goof Off. So I'm gonna try this first, see what happens. I really don't want to damage the plastic. So this stuff I used over here doesn't really work. And I use the Goof Off and it takes it right off. I'll put some on my rag. And as you can see, takes it off. So that's pretty nice. Alright, this one's all done. I'm gonna do the next one, and then I'm gonna use some new finish scratch doctor to kind of polish these up. Alright, so I got the new finish scratch doctor. I've never used it on taillights, I've used it on headlights before. Same plastic, so kind of curious how it's gonna work. Let's put a little on here. I'm gonna do it on the red right here so you can kind of compare easily side by side. And then I'm gonna do the rest. Basically all you do is buff it in with your hand. Try to get a straightish line right there. And you can go over it a couple times and make it work better. And just get I'll just fold this and get a clean side. Yeah, just one kind of coat right there. I don't know how well you can kind of see it on camera. So here's a little comparison. This is the one with the scratch doctor, new finish. It's definitely a lot more red. This one's pretty pink still. I don't know if you can tell that well on camera, but this shade's different. It looks like you hit it, or someone hit it here with the sander or something, so that I'm not going to get out, at least tonight. You know, down the road I could try to restore it, but I want red taillights on it anyways, with the, not the amber corners. But yeah, not too bad. These were definitely sun beat before it was sprayed over with that black stuff. So there's a little better comparison. I put a piece of tape down here and did that side. You can see how much more gloss that brings back to it in the red color rather than this pinkish. Pretty good stuff. So this one's a little bit better of a end result example. There's some stuff there, but this one didn't get hit with a sander, so it's a little shinier with just doing the scratch doctor on it. So I'm also going to throw the Type R wing on real quick. Figured I'd show this because apparently not a lot of people know, but to take the wing off, you don't take those screws out. Those are impossible to get out. If you don't even have to take this whole panel off, you just pop it with like a screwdriver. I use this plastic thing so I didn't crack it. But this little orange clip, you'll see through here. You pop it up and then just move it over. Oops, sorry, I'm trying to get it in the light. So you pop it over and then unhook the clip from it. So that easy. And then let me close this without guillotining my wire. And then pops right through. Well, you gotta use 2 hands, but it comes right off. Actually, I changed my mind. I'm gonna not put it on yet. I'm going to paint it tomorrow, paint it white, just to kind of test out the paint. It's going to be warm enough to paint tomorrow, but the car is not ready for paint yet. I still have to do the other door, which sucks because tomorrow is like the last day. It was only supposed to be like 45 when I checked the weather earlier the week, but now it's going to be 65. But it is what it is. Maybe I'll get lucky with one more day. But I just want to get a coat of paint on that because I got a bunch of filler primer on there, filling in some blemishes and whatnot, just to kind of spruce it up a little bit because of how ugly it is. It is pretty beat, but I'm weird about spoilers. I either have to have no spoiler or something that's tall. I hate those low-lying spoilers like the GSR one. Alright, I'm finally off work, so I'm going to swap this door and I'm going to show you how to do the harness. Also, exhaust came in, so going to be some VTEC pulls at the end of the video. Obviously, got to break the exhaust in. So first off, obviously, you got to take off the side skirt and the fender to get access to removing the door. There's other videos for that. I'm not going to waste time in this one. Then we'll go from there once you get the door off. So obviously you gotta unplug the door and you just kind of gotta pull this boot back, and then that little button or whatever you want to call it there, you just press that down on the top, pull it out, and then you can either unbolt the door from this or that. I'm just gonna do it from these two. Doesn't really make that much of a difference. This is how you align the door up and down this way, and take this pin out. It's not hard at all, you just gotta tap it a few times. It comes right out. That's the little thing that keeps your door from whipping open. So obviously this switch is already gone, but you have to take those out from the bottom anyways. This is just how I got the door. There's a Phillips screw in here and then one behind this little flap, if you even have the flap still. And there's no screws holding this on, it's just clips. So you just get your hand back here, or if you got any fancy body tools, but basically just give it a quick jerk. That. All the way around. And then you don't want to pull straight off, you want to kind of lift up to get the seal out of the door crack, and then there you have the door panel off. And then I'm gonna have to pop this off. This is also just clips, and they always break like that. Because the only reason you have to take it off is to get the harness out, because this is one of the things that are gonna have to come with the harness when you transfer the other one. And you have to rip all this plastic out to get access to the whole harness. You probably get away with just pulling off certain sections, but it's just get it all out of there. It's gonna be in your way. And to get the harness unhooked from the door, that main plug, I don't know how well you can really see this, but there's just, all you gotta do is basically on the bottom, there's a tiny little tab. You don't even really have to feel it. As long as you get your finger right in the middle and push up like that, it sinks it in. And then you can pull it out from the inside of the door. Usually have to reach in through here or the top. It's kind of hard to get your hand in there, especially with the window already being down. So at this point, it's a good idea to take a picture of the door just so you can kind of see how to route the wires correctly. It just kind of makes it easier. The hardest part of this really is trying to get these like plastic zip tie clips that go into the door, like trying to get them popped out without breaking them. The only reason is, unless you have other ones, but just so you don't have them hanging in here rattling inside the door. That's the only reason it's kind of challenging, but I don't have any of those, so I try to get them all out without breaking them. And kind of an easy thing to remember, I forgot to mention, is the male clips, like the male ends, are the ones that are coming out. So, like, all the male ones you can unplug, obviously unplug them, but then you're not trying to fish out these wires because these stay with the door. You can leave them right there. Same with this one, you can leave it right there. They stay with the door. Actually, save the clips on the harness that you're putting back in the door, rather. Didn't want to confuse anyone. Alright, then once you get all of your harness unhooked, then take this little plastic thing out. It has a split right here on this side. Comes out like that. And feed that main junction out this hole. And then reverse the process, basically. I'm gonna just do the rest off camera. But basically, there you go. All of those can stay in place. And then here's your harness. And then I'm going to do the same process on that, take that harness out of that door, and then reverse the process into this door. And I forgot there is actually a little plastic screw here. I said there's no screws, but this little thing, I don't even consider them screws because they never work 90% of the time. Alright, all back together. I'm going to jack it up, put the exhaust on, and then go for a ride. Well, I guess I'm not getting a new exhaust. It's the wrong exhaust. I just went back on the website and like the fine print says like it only fits 2000 and 2001 GSR Integras, but it fits all the other models, including the Type R and stuff, certain years. So that's very frustrating. I don't get why Integras have to be so difficult. Gosh dang it. But basically, the end of the header on like the LS and whatnot is slightly longer, like maybe an inch or two. I think it's like 2 inches longer. So that's frustrating. I guess maybe I can get away with making another test pipe, even though I just got done with this thing. Man, that's frustrating. So either that or I gotta return it and find another exhaust. It's more like 5 inches short. But as you can see, that's frustrating. Alright, it is now a day later. Very long story short, I ran around all morning trying to get O2 bungs, metric ones for the test pipe to try to extend it and whatever. And people out here are just like 20 years behind. Anytime you say a metric or Acura, they have absolutely no idea what you're talking about. Like, I went to automotive shops and they've never heard of an Acura in their entire life. Don't know how that works, but anyways, thanks to my redneck neighbor, I was able to extend the test pipe that we already made. And yes, I call him redneck. He always refers to himself as a redneck because I'm from New York. He's like, one of these days you'll learn that I'm a redneck. It's hilarious. But anyways, exhaust works. I'm going to change the oil quick, drop it on the ground, and go for a drive. It's freezing out. We actually got snow, so that's kind of annoying, but there's no salt out here, and it'll probably be melted by noon, so it's okay. So just to kind of show how budget this build or restoration is, mechanically everything I did was like top notch, like Gates water pump, timing belt, XD clutch, all that stuff. Like all that stuff is going to be top quality, but for cosmetic stuff, like this is the mirror that was on the car. It had these really big gouges in the plastic. So the white mirror that I got with the door was clean here and clean here, but this was all cracked. So I just took it apart and swapped just that rim. But stuff like that, and obviously there's a little dent right here, the scuffs, but I'm gonna paint that at least. So just to kind of show you, I know there's things that other people do. This is a budget restoration. I don't even know if I have $1,000 total into this yet, or maybe over $1,000. And I was gonna paint the Type R wing. I never got to it because I never got the car out of the garage so I could paint in here because it's really windy outside. So I'm just gonna throw the wing on. That way it's kind of sealed up for now. I got a little like rubber plugs here, but I don't have anything really to plug this. So I'm just gonna throw it on anyways temporarily. It's easy to take off and go for a test drive. Hey boy, gotta get some gas quick. And I forgot to mention that the third gear grind went away since I put the synchro mesh in and actually ran it through quite a bit. So that's pretty dope. Alright, so that's going to wrap up this video. Stay tuned for more, I guess. Next video, hopefully, for sure, I'll find out when the giveaway is going to be down because of the weather. But if you like the video, I really appreciate a like. Subscribe if you want to stay up to date with the car and my other projects. And yeah, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.